Wanted to test everybody's ears tonight to see if that hurt. Welcome to the show, Abnormal Family. Now that we got everybody's ears ringing, we're ready to start the show. I'm going to go ahead and bring Jesse in. There you are.
Hello. Here I am.
I got I got my new glasses on tonight that they gave me for to block the blue light. So
What
hopefully
you
that'll
get?
help. Well, I hope it'll help with the migraines.
Yeah.
Well, we got a hell of a show for everybody tonight, meaning HAIL. We're getting hail and thunderstorms right now. So we're going to have a good show tonight. Guys, let me get over here to the comments so I can see everybody. Oh, we got Flower Child in here tonight. We got Amanda's Crazy Life. Hey, Amanda, would you please send me an email, please? Please. I would appreciate that. I would like to talk to you. Um, if you don't have my email, I believe it's running at the bottom of the screen. I believe it's in that. Ah,
Yeah.
it is. There it is. Yeah, because I done it. It was done right. And yeah, Amanda, I'd like to talk to you. But we got CRJ in here tonight. Good to see you, CRJ. Nancy McDonald, Belinda. It's Sabrina's here tonight. We got, of course, Belinda's moderating. Tyler 420. Good to see you, buddy. Michelle McGuire, and I'm not calling her Mario no more. I'll have to get her a new name. OCST says hell party going on over there. Yeah, y'all's got it really bad. You're in our prayers for sure tonight on the prayer list. Jesse C moderating tonight, co-hosting. Yes, sorry, I wrote it down. Will do. All right. Look forward to speaking to you, Amanda. Lisa Ann, good to see you moderating tonight. Tammy Brewer, good to see you. It's Sabrina. I think I already said your name. You're cheating now. You're getting your name in there twice. Guys, what we got going on tonight, and moderators, we'll probably have to reiterate it tonight because I'm sure people will come in as the show progresses. But what we got going on tonight, guys, is I received a message from Mr. Volante at about 5 o'clock today, and he told me unfortunately he would have to cancel. He had a family emergency and was at the hospital. So please keep him and his family in your prayers, and we will be rescheduling. Hopefully, if that's convenient with him and he would like to reschedule, we would like to get him on the show. So I will keep you all updated where that's at. I will reach back out to him in a few days. I'll give him a few days to get settled with his family and everything because we're always family first over here. And I don't want to bother him if he's actually having an emergency. But in a few days, I'll reach back out to him. We'll see if we can reschedule, and I'll let you all know where we're at on that. I've done pretty. There's Tammy Brewer's in here. Chester Robinson's in here tonight. What I am going to do though is I'm going to let Jesse go ahead and get the prayer list out tonight before we jump into the announcements, and we get this show rocking on the road.
So, of course, prayers for Nick and his family. Also, prayers for Barton and Letitia Nunley. Continued prayers for Connie. Prayers for Donna Severio. For Emmy's sister-in-law, Tanaka. For Colton. Letitia, I already said Letitia and Barton. Lisa Ann's sister, Carolyn. For Lindsay and Tony Merkel. Martin Groves. Michelle McGuire. Mike Shriver. Pam Jones. Randy. Virginia Sequeira, I don't want to butcher your name, hon, for her daughter, and for William Johnson. So prayers for them, everyone.
And we'll add OCST to that too. They were hit with a tornado.
OCST and everybody that is in line with her, these continued storms, yes.
And then I would also like to add a message out. And if they're not watching, guys, please make sure that they know that I gave them a shout out. Bart and Letitia Nunley, we'll be glad whenever y'all are being able to get back to the show. The community is lacking without you, and we're ready to see you guys back in action over there. So prayers with you guys, and we miss you guys. Hope everything's going okay with you guys, and you're in our continuous prayers. And look forward to seeing the day y'all come back.
Definitely.
So we got just a few announcements tonight before we get started, before I get this show on the road. We got a members video we're going to be working on again that will be coming out. All you members really enjoyed the members only video live we done. Had a huge turnout. We got some members in here tonight. So how was it, guys? How was the members live video that we participated in? Did you all really like that? We was able to go a little deeper, do a little more than what we normally would, and some one-on-one conversations and questions. So how was everybody with that that's a member? Did you all enjoy that? And do you want more of those? Also, Patreon members, we are working on that video that will be released also.
On the Vatican, right? Yeah.
Yep, it will be the Vatican. We got to get that one out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Edith
Hello.
Gomez. Hello, Texas. Hello, Pink Pixie. Good to see you in here moderating tonight. Hello, Belinda. Amanda, Belinda's a little cheeky sometimes. You got to watch her. Good to see Silver Bullet in here tonight moderating. One last thing before I bring on OCST that's joining us tonight. Where am I? Okay, what we're thinking about, or what I'm thinking about doing actually, is there was a comment made that Jessie wasn't going to be able to get her channel off of the ground. And coming from where Jessie's at and being a new creator back whenever I started and having two other very successful channels, I know how hard it is to be able to get a channel off the ground without being attacked daily on the hard work that you put into a channel. You put a lot of work into the material you drop, and if you're attacked daily and your lives are attacked, well, then you're really burning gas, time, equipment, and everything for nothing, because essentially whenever you could be catching the algorithm, you're setting, in timeout pretty much. I go through it too. Luckily, I have the numbers to be able to absorb that hit and to be able to continue on. And we keep growing really, really fast. We'll talk about that here in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But what it's very frustrating though that we feel like some people in this community want to dictate the narrative, and whenever somebody can dictate and control the narrative, well, then they can control the truth also. And I think that's very dangerous, and that should not be allowed. That's why I was attacked in the first place. Is I did not allow myself to be dictated or told what time I could go on, how long I could be on, or who I could have on, and blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera. Not going to work with me. Anybody that knows me personally knows I'm too damn hard headed for that, and I'm not going to be told what to do. So this is what we've thought, and I want to see your all's opinions in the chat. I'm thinking about giving Jessie the opportunity, if she so wants to, during the week, to give her access to where she could come on my channel with her backdrop, do her show independently, which it wouldn't be abnormal. She would be on our page, but it would be her show to where she could get her views out. That's probably different than mine, or what she wants to do, or her content, and then also promote her show to where she's not attacked daily and held back. It would give her a wider variety. It would give her a stage to be recognized and to get out into the community. I think as successful creators, we should be helping those that are struggling, trying to make it. I don't think it should be trying to put everybody down. I think we should be reaching a hand out to everybody in this community, working together, not trying to destroy one another. So if you wish to do that, I think that would be good for you. It's on the table if that's what you want to do. And what does everybody in chat think about that? And you can expand on that too, Jesse, if you'd like.
I guess I'm open for any type of options or try anything new, I guess, as far as that goes. I would like to say, yesterday it was a bad day. I was dealing with a migraine, as the moderators and Christy knows, because I was talking to her yesterday too. So that's why I ended up not going out last night. So I apologize to everybody that was waiting for one, but I was dealing with a really bad migraine. And I think it's because of the weather, because we have had horrible rain and changes in weather and stuff here lately. So, but I apologize for that, everyone.
Everybody says it's a great idea. It's unanimous. And you could probably even have CRJ on too if you wanted to, or Jiffy
Ooh.
Pop. Might be able to tolerate her an extra night. I don't know.
Right now. What? Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, Tammy, want mac and cheese?
Hey, Tammy. Oh, that's my favorite. Oh, thanks.
She looks like her mom.
What?
They look a lot alike, her and her mom, don't they?
Let's do this.
Yep, they do.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You didn't tell me I look like my dad because that'd be an insult.
I get a free taco for that.
Now the truth comes out.
We'll work. We'll work for food.
We'll work for food, he says. Hey, that could be a possibility when it comes up clean up.
Oh man.
Yeah, if you guys help clean up the shed and everything, I'll bring home tacos.
I'll be right there.
No, yes, you get flaunted.
That goes for everybody.
Okay.
Everybody in the chat.
Wait, whoa! I don't have that much money. I'm start chipping in.
$5 per taco.
It's not even that.
Uh-oh. I heard Connor in the background.
What's good, everybody? How we doing?
What's going on, Macho Man?
Oh yeah.
No, stop! Don't even get him started, Michael.
I like the camo shirt too.
Thank you, brother. It's not camo. It has it's Hawaiian and it has skulls on it. But
Oh, that's even better. I feel like Mean Gene now. I feel like the.
We're here with Hulk Hogan with Hulk.
Oh goodness.
Never a dull moment. Thanks, Mike.
Oh, you're welcome anytime.
Melinda says, now who's cheeky?
Anytime I can be of service, just let me know.
You need to come to my work and make my day better.
I brighten everybody's day wherever I'm at.
I will call you when we open, and when I get off, that's when you can leave.
I guess I could hang out all day and eat.
As long as you bring back some chips and queso and salsa. As long as you tip good.
Well, that might be an issue.
Crap.
And for anybody that ever wonders, the best thing to do is if you're paying with a credit card, you always tip in cash. Never tip with a credit card.
Because then they have to pay taxes on.
Exactly.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's right.
Yeah.
They work
Taxes
too hard.
suck.
They work too hard to have to claim it all.
Hey, I went out for a walk yesterday, guys. I've got on a walking kick, and I put in a little over a mile yesterday.
Nice.
Really? I put in every single day, walking back and forth.
I know.
Yeah.
Me and Jessica agree with that one.
I know that's
Are you
true.
paying attention to your mac and cheese? It's fine. I just stirred it. Okay. I can
So,
smell.
you all got some damage from the storms, right?
A little bit.
A little bit.
No house damage, right?
No. Thank God.
Yeah, God is good.
You want to come do this today?
I'm good.
The shed got twisted up like a burrito, but
Yeah, ended up a few ways down too, I guess, huh?
yeah.
Do people want to see?
You don't want to see me?
Yeah, I guess.
Man, I was sure worried about you guys. And right after y'all came out of that tornado warning, we went into a tornado warning. So we were down in the shelter. Luckily, I don't know if it's the lake or what it is, but when the storms come across toward us, it seems like they hit the lake, and every time, and I'm not, mad about it, but they will go north of us and go right up the highway. I mean, the tornadoes always go right up the highway. People's barns and houses have been destroyed along there, rebuilt, destroyed, rebuilt, destroyed.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm so glad it wasn't worse than what
The
happened.
the trailer shook profusely when we were taking cover.
I bet.
So yeah, I got up on the side of the bed, and because Colton came in the room, tornado, tornado. Got up on the side of the bed. I'm sitting on the side of the bed, and all I hear is a freight train, and then all of a sudden I heard that the funnel winds just going, and I was like, "Yep, get to the bathroom."
Man.
That's scary.
I was in the shower 3 seconds before the tornado warning sounded off.
Yeah.
3 seconds.
That would have been a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do this. This is today's, but I don't know if it's much different now. But this is where we are in relative of where the action was today. We're circled, and you can see it's all southwest of it. Well, it was southwest of us. On here, it's the other way, but
So you're what, southeast of Oklahoma City, right?
no, we're northwest of Oklahoma City.
North. Oh,
See,
northwest.
Oklahoma City, I don't know if I can.
Way down.
Oklahoma City is right there. You see? And then
Right.
now here. We're north of Oklahoma City.
Oh, hell, you guys ain't as far from me as I thought you was.
No.
You're almost pretty much just across the lake and south.
We're about 2.5 hours from you, Mike.
Okay. How far are you from Claremore?
I don't. Hang on. I can tell you. Give me a
Not quite
sec.
sure.
That's like the biggest city closest to me, but it's still quite. I mean, it's a distance away, but there ain't really any big cities around me. I'm kind of like stuck in the middle of nowhere land.
Stuck in the boondocks.
Last night we had they had a radar indicated tornado just south of the Cimarron River, and it was headed right for us, and then luckily it dissipated.
Right.
So
Okay, this thing is stupid sometimes.
yeah, 'cause it was headed straight up the highway.
I'm not sure
2
what.
hours and 22
what-
minutes from.
I'm not sure what Drew means, but I was trying to. Y'all have any idea what he's saying?
Oh,
You.
he's talking about. He says something about an interview.
Something who said buried in Crescent. Can you scroll up there, the chat?
I got lost. Amanda says she's in California.
Okay. No.
Tupac.
Do you
I've
have
been
a
watching her
shelter?
videos.
No silver bullet. We do not.
Nope. No shelter around here.
Well,
Man.
We-
there, but
The
Yeah,
closest shelter to us is the school.
yeah, we'd have to drive all the way to the school. And last night night before that wasn't even possible.
Well, I'm glad y'all's got Macho Man there with y'all. Protect you guys.
I hate the fact that I don't think
Drew21, email Mike.
I don't.
The email's at the bottom of the screen. Go ahead and send Mike an email.
They tried to. I still didn't like
But yeah, we did a little bit of cleanup today
it.
on it. I'm exhausted, but still going.
Oh, man, I hate that for you guys.
Yeah,
Set,
we got everything in the van that I wanted to put in storage. Went and drove to our storage unit thinking that I had the key to get in and get there, and
We don't have the key,
Don't have
but
the key.
that's okay. The stuff is in the van. It's safer kind of in the van than it would be in the.
right.
Yeah.
Hi, Amanda's crazy.
so we have to cut
World.
the lock off the storage
Hi,
unit and
Sharon guy.
replace it.
Right. Well, Amanda's going to have to visit Oklahoma. She don't know what she's missing.
What is she saying? Because I'm trying to look at something about.
She is a Northern Cali Chico.
Oh, okay, cool. I've never been to California.
It's nice. Nice to visit.
I'm
Yes,
an
ma'am.
Okie. I'm an Okie, not from Muskogee.
I like that song. If what? Extra cheese? Yeah. If you don't eat it all, yeah.
What's that other song? Living on Tulsa Time.
Oh, so don't want to get him in trouble, but yes.
No sing.
Oh, Macho Man can sing too. He's a jack of all trades, ain't he?
Yeah, he likes to sing.
Yeah, he loves to sing, actually.
Yeah.
Yay for Connor! Wait. Okay. Oh, I'm late again.
Scott Lee, you haven't missed a thing, buddy. We haven't even got into it yet.
We were showing damage from our shed being ripped apart from a whatever low grade crazy hail it was.
Man. You know, I'm actually more afraid of lightning than I am the wind. I don't know. It's just lightning just really bothers me.
Lightning doesn't
Buc-ee's?
bother me. The wind doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
No.
Lightning likes me. It tries to track me down, but I don't let it bother me too much.
Lightning scares the Jesus out of me. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Because,
I don't like lightning.
Yeah.
Electric personalities, huh?
Yep.
Lightning's kind of like that song, "Come on, baby, light my fire."
I had one time when I was a teenager sitting in front of the living room window, and we had a really bad storm, and a lightning bolt hit the windowsill right behind me. I was sitting in a chair by the window, and it hit the windowsill, and I went diving forward. Then when it stopped raining, went outside to see what damage it did. There was to this day, there's a big old dent in the street. So it hit the street, bounced off the street, and then hit the window.
Wow.
Actually watched it. There was a TikTok thing from Newcastle, Oklahoma, where a lightning bolt hit a cop car.
Yeah. Blew
Oh, wow.
Blew it up.
Oh, wow.
Scott Lee, tonight we have an encounter that happened. We're going to be pretty much breaking it down, talking about it, and man,
And we're here.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't take my allergy pills on purpose so everybody could hear me sniff, snort, clear my throat.
Great.
It seems to be like one. It seems to be like one of those days.
When you start hawking loogies, I'm out.
Yeah. No, it'd be one of those ones you got to flip, like.
Oh.
No!
Yeah, then you're like, whoops.
Stop!
Yeah. Or you snot rocket. You do one of your snot rockets, and you're like, I didn't know my bottom lip stuck that far out in my beard.
Okay, I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. You're 500.
To it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Tyler, eat some chicken strips.
No.
Sneeze and have big old snot bubbles.
Guacamole.
Gross.
Probably me.
Oh man, so the last boots on the ground I thought was pretty boring until I got home and everybody started sending me things that they seen and things that they heard. But on my end, it was pretty much just all I could hear was frogs. I was about ready to start stomping them.
I said you probably could have shot one of those and everybody in the cat would have cheered him on.
Yeah, then I'd have PETA coming after me. I guess I am part of PETA. I'm part of PETA.
The ASPCA?
Yeah, no, I'm part of PETA. People eating tasty animals.
Oh, frog legs.
Yep. I've been a member for life.
Yeah, me too. I like to eat. So, I guess one of the main things everybody was talking about, part of that video was the walking through the water. Everybody, that was probably what caught my attention the most. I wasn't able to get it uploaded. Sharon Guy, shout out to her. She went through the video and she paused some of it, and she actually was able to slow it down. I can send you and Christy the pictures you want to see them.
Okay.
And she caught a stick flying over my head in the air that I didn't even see. So
You're lucky
she
it
did.
won't knock your ass out. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I know. Then I'd be laying face down in the water out there. That'd be bad. I wonder if it would wake you up or if you would drown.
Do you want us to answer that question?
theory. Yeah.
That would be kind of embarrassing, you know. You get found out there and you drown in like 6 inches of water.
Hey.
It's been known to happen.
Yeah, people. I think didn't they say there was a lady that drowned in a bathtub one time, just a few inches of water?
That's all it takes.
So I think the water was one of the things. We had some EVPs, and I think we got probably one of our rudest EVPs. It was actually talking over me. They know this is my show. I don't know why they do that, but no, they was trying to think who sent that to me. Somebody emailed me the I don't know. I get so many emails. Somebody. I'm a workaholic, guys. That's all I do. Somebody sent me a video of a whatever it was. Sound like when I was talking, it was hissing, like it was hissing over me. And one of them said a very rude thing to Jesse, and said that it wanted her, and it used the D word at Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's okay. They can get in
Yeah.
line.
Yep.
Wouldn't be the first one.
It was evil.
evil.
I had to go back and re-listen to it because I didn't have my headphones on that night. And at one point, I looked at Harold and I said, "What the hell?"
Oh, that reminded me. Harold and I think Jesse was the ones that said you heard like the little wheel noise, like the.
Oh, it's the drum.
It sounded like the spinner drum.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See,
Huh.
at first I thought it might have been some sort of
What are
cricket
you
or
doing?
grasshopper. You know, you get the big locust that will make that noise, but it started out really slow, then it sped up and it kept going. A locust or a cricket will wind down. This thing it got faster and faster and faster, and I'm like, that sounds like a spinner drum.
Mm-hmm.
And it was doing it in correlation with it trying to talk over you. So, and every time you got close to the trees, that would start up. I noticed that.
That is weird.
And then
It's
you
so-
had that when you said it's right here. Several of us in the chat, we were saying, you know, there's something blue right in front of you. I saw. I know I saw the side view, the shoulder and the arm, and then the arm resting on its waist because it was kneeling down. I know I saw that. There was no mistaking that.
I put out a small video clip that was sent to me, and I noticed that I had missed something. Up in a tree, and I noticed it. I didn't notice that night, but when I went back and looked, whenever I said there was something up in the tree, I shined my lights up, and on the video, you can very plainly see something black up in the tree, and it's like pretty much up toward the top, and it's a pretty tall figure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounded to me like you had there was the female voice, and then there was, like always, there's this what sounds like either an old man or maybe an old Bigfoot or dog man or it. But every single time you go out, you can hear that what sounds like an old man speaking in
Or moaning.
or speaking and moaning, and sometimes it's in English and sometimes it sounds like it's in native tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, the area that I was at is really close to an old Indian cemetery. I personally have made the decision that I won't go into a cemetery to do an investigation. I feel it's disrespectful. I wouldn't want somebody doing that where my dad's at, saying they're hearing things, or family members. So I didn't enter it, but we are very close to it. It's a very old cemetery. It's a unmarked cemetery. It's grown up. It's not maintained anymore. But
I would say those that do, ask them for permission. Ask the ones that are sleeping there for permission to enter. And if they don't want you, they'll tell you.
My buddy went there one night and was doing some kind of investigation they was doing, and the girl he was with, she ended up like getting really scared that night and like freaked out. They had a perfect relationship for a long time, and she got like where she was getting up during the middle of the night, got the Hershey's chocolate, and was writing on the walls like symbols and just doing really weird stuff. And he ended up coming home from work one day and found her where she had cut in the bathtub and was deceased. And she had wrote on the walls with her own blood. So he believes that something took her over whenever they went there. They was playing the Ouija board in a cemetery at 3 a.m. in the morning. So
Well, that wasn't a good idea either.
No.
I won't even go near one.
No.
I won't either.
No. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's what I'm giving away on my show, Christy. You're the winner, and you get one of the free candles.
Mike, if I could really do what I really want to do, you never mind.
I can even send you a little card that says "We attack at dawn."
I'll take the candle.
Hey, do you and Harold want a free duck? I'll send you guys a free duck if you want a free duck.
Free duck.
I've only got like 5 left. I almost sold every one of them for $20 each. Yeah.
Please don't. We have dogs. We have 3 dogs and like.
No, not a real duck. A rubber duck.
No, they're rubber duckies.
Rubber ducks?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant a real one.
Yeah, and I signed them too. It's got my signature on them.
Oh Lord.
That makes
Free
it even
autograph.
worth it. Yeah, free autograph. I might even be able to get my mom to sign it too. She might.
That'd be cool. Well, guess what we looked at Walmart last night? Guess what? Yes.
Fishing equipment.
Yep. We sure did.
See.
We sure did. We went to Walmart and Kingfisher last night, and we went on a date, which is the first date we've had in probably months because we've been so busy and crazy and all that stuff. But we went and looked at fishing stuff, and he goes, because I was being kind of silly, and I said, "See, I just need this little pink fishing pole and this," and it was like the Walmart cheap,
Fishing kit.
And he goes, "No, babe, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right, and we're going to the Bass Pro Shop and all this stuff." And I said, "I'm not.
Oh yeah.
I don't need nothing fancy from the Bass Pro Shop."
Nothing against Walmart's fishing supplies, but I'll just say this:
Oh, cool.
Stuff lasts longer if you buy it from the big guys.
I don't know. I've been watching those videos where people are actually making their own fly lures. Oh my gosh, I could watch those forever. I
yeah.
want to do that.
So I guess my next question is, Harold and Christy, is when are y'all kicking off your outdoor channel so we can collaborate?
When the kids move out.
Okay, this is no longer
Just when you think they've moved out, they'll move right back in.
when I don't have to spend upwards of $400 on groceries every couple of weeks.
Then y'all could collaborate with me on that also. See, when you come down, we could knock 2 videos out. You know, we could do our abnormal stuff at night, and we could do our fishing during the day.
Wouldn't mind coming to visit you. I mean, it'd be fun. That'd be really fun, actually.
Maybe we could catch enough fish to have a big catfish fry.
That would be cool. Oh, speaking of fish, we actually ate in Kingfisher last night, which was our date. And I actually had the catfish. OMG. It was so yummy.
I love catfish.
Catfish was the bomb there last night. I was so full I had to bring some home. I couldn't eat it all.
I've never ate spoonbill, but I do want to catch it and try it.
I had spoonbill. It's pretty good.
You like it pretty good?
Tell them about the sandwich you ate with the burger.
Yeah. Pulled pork and Angus beef.
Oh, yeah.
It was massive.
With coleslaw on top.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was massive.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been no good the rest of the night.
It was massive.
Oh, wow. Yeah. They have a place in Catoosa, Oklahoma that I want to eat at so bad. It's called Flo's. Y'all ever heard of that place?
Mm-mm.
No.
If you get a chance after the show, go on and check it out online. They have a website. It's called Flo's. Oh my God, their food looks so good, and they give I'm talking, their steaks are huge. I mean,
He thought
big.
about having a steak last night, but then he said he would have to eat leather. So I'm like, here's
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah, I don't like my steak mooing.
Oh wow.
So that was 3
We're gonna have to-
fillets, onion rings, and coleslaw. It was amazing. And hush puppies. It was amazing.
Yeah. You're gonna have me doing what my doctor told me not to do. I'm gonna be eating at 3 a.m. tonight.
No, don't eat at 3 a.m. I'm sorry.
You know, he actually told me that you should not eat after 5 o'clock anything heavy, that it should just be snacks to sustain me. I'm like, what do you define as a snack? A burger. Nice.
Sour
Yeah.
patch, yummy, yum. A giant.
That's about the
Hey,
time you
Michelle.
start up the barbecue pit.
5 o'clock. Yeah.
5 o'clock.
That's what I was thinking. I think that's my problem.
We don't eat before 5 o'clock. Hell, I still haven't ate yet tonight.
Oh my goodness. I haven't eaten either. Trying to think what I even had for breakfast today. I don't even know if I had breakfast.
Coffee.
John says gummy catfish.
Well,
Fish.
I have to say I did eat early, but that's because I met my parents for lunch, dinner, whatever you want to call it, and they
Brunch.
work on old person's time. So 4 o'clock dinner and 11
How's your
o'clock
mom doing?
lunch. Huh?
How's your mom?
Good.
Good. Give her
Well,
a
I don't know. I'm a big eater.
Oh,
I like my food,
I do too.
especially when it comes to cow
Me too.
I'm not supposed
Or-
to eat very much cow. But
or pig.
Me too.
Bacon just makes it better, you know. You get a hamburger and put bacon on it.
Turkey bacon is very good for you.
Turkey bacon is good. So is turkey pepperoni. Just
Mhm.
saying.
And turkey sausage and
And ground turkey.
ground turkey. Yep.
We eat a lot of ground turkey too. It's not
If I'm eating a bird, it's going to be fried chicken, or it's going to be dove or quail or duck. But as far as if I go to a restaurant and they got pig bacon and they got turkey bacon, it's pig bacon. Turkey bacon is an imposter bacon.
No, you know what? You put turkey bacon in the was it the air fryer? Because I have one of those Ninja air fryers. You put those in the air fryers, and it comes out. It's so crunchy and crispy, and oh my gosh, it's
Right.
good stuff. Good stuff. Wouldn't even know the difference.
Gummy turkey. John, that's not a good combination. Don't even try to put gummy bears and turkey together. No.
Well, on my Wide Open channel, I got a couple of recipes I'm going to be doing, and y'all are going to have to check it out. One of them is how to make simple marshmallows at home with like 3 ingredients. So,
Marshmallows.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a Amish recipe,
Okay. Rock on.
and you don't have all the other stuff in it, the bad stuff for us, all the preservatives and everything.
I probably
did
had it
see
because I
that.
got fed a lot of Amish food when we lived in Kelowna, Iowa.
Everybody says that their food is better. They
Mhm.
say it's like really good food.
Jay Richardson, there's never leftover bacon. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what's that?
We have 5 people living in this house. There ain't no leftover nothing, hardly ever.
Oh, Macho Man probably can eat quite a bit of bacon too, I bet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he snaps into it.
Oh, well, I guess we better jump into the story. Everybody's going to be screaming at me, tell a story.
Get on with that.
I know. Get on with it. So we got this one. I think it's going to be a pretty good one. I guess we'll just start with it. He's using initials. I think he didn't want to use their names. This happened in the summer of 2017. He was 17 years old at the time. He said, I was about to enter my senior year of high school. I live within the town of Sheridan, Wyoming. A nice little cowboy town, he says, even though the people there absolutely suck at driving. They have a lot of wrecks, he said. But there's plenty of teenagers that still hang out on Main Street on Friday and Saturday nights. It's like one of those small town little places. He said this encounter and everything that he has actually originates within the Bighorn Mountain Range, a spur of mountains connected to the Rockies.
Sweet.
I'd like to see the Rockies.
I want to see the mountains. Period.
Well, Dumb and Dumber said that John Denver was a liar.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
I forgot that part of the movie. What was it?
They say there's actually more behind them just saying that. It goes back to the flat earth theory, and it's a big thing. There's a lot of things in that movie, like we landed on the moon, and there shows a thing on the wall. There's a lot of little hidden things in that movie.
Still not interested enough to rewatch it, but go on with the story.
If you've ever been to the Colorado Rockies, though, it's an amazing sight to see in person.
I lived there for about 2 years, or a year. I don't know. I lived there for a while, anyways.
I'm going to have a piece of
I made it there. Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
He says the camping posse consisted of me, my cousins, who we'll call M and A, my aunt, who we'll call B, and A's friend. M was about 19 at the time. And the time of these events, we shared a mutual fascination with the outdoors, and we loved being, he's, out in the outdoors, he said, in the mountains, the beautiful mountains, camping, everything, fishing. He said A, who was 15, had shown some interest, but nowhere near the level of intrigue that M and I had for the mysteries. My Aunt B was a Christian, a firm believer in God, and a strong believer in demons and angels, but cryptids and aliens, not so much. She pretty much believed that they were demons also, and pretty much categorized them the same. So he said we were camped out next to a decently sized lake called Park Reservoir, which was usually a popular spot to camp at. However, it was only just us and an elderly couple that were camped on the lake that day. Em and I had spent the day four-wheeling and riding on a sandy perimeter of the reservoir and fishing the resident rainbow, brown, and brook trout along the lake. A and her friends spent most of their time either inside the camper or just swimming. B simply relaxed in her folding chair, enjoyed nature through just being a bliss to everything. She did spend a little time four-wheeling herself. You know, sometimes I wonder if these cryptids see people from the city show up and they're like totally like not paying attention to their surroundings, or like, we're on vacation. I'm just going to take my chair out here by the lake in the middle of nowhere, put my feet in the water, and take a nap.
Yep.
Where I'm from, you'll have to wake up with a lap full of water moccasins. You know,
Or a Bigfoot standing right behind you.
oh man, wake up in a sleeping bag getting drugged through the woods.
Hence
You know,
why I don't go camping.
Wake up right before you hit the tree. No.
Yeah, my buddy told me one of the rules they have when they go camping is you put your pistol inside of your sleeping bag with your knife.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that way if you're drug off or whatever, you still have your knife and your sleeping and your handgun.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of that, just real quick, I can't say his name. He didn't want his name said, but I was sent in the mail a pair. Well, it's not a pair. It's a monocular military night vision. And wanted to thank him for that. It fits on a rifle, a handgun, or anything like that. So that'll be a game changer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just got to consult my rules and regulations as far as having a nighttime scope on a rifle. I don't know if I know I can take it and use it out there. I just don't know if I can have it attached to a rifle in the dark.
No.
That's right.
Well, you can always just try to
Because I
get
have
it
an 8.
attached to a tripod. If
Yeah.
anything.
It's got an attachment too to put on your head where you can swing it down over your eyes and push it back up.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know how depth perception would be in a bunch of trees.
Right.
Smack. Oh.
Yeah. Be like that George of the Jungle.
You didn't hear Connor?
Uh,
He's like, George.
Yep.
Oh
That'd
my
be me.
God, that's funny.
He says whenever nighttime came, we all spent time sitting around the campfire and telling stories. The setting of the night wasn't very impressive. Clouds were blocking the sky, so we couldn't view the stars. The only visible part of the moon was the light that could barely even be seen piercing through the clouds. Em and I stayed up a bit later on the other side of the camp, just doing our thing and a little bit of night fishing. Em claimed that the moon was full and that fishing would occur best during that time. We were out on the lake. Though the biting action wasn't the best, we did manage to catch about 6 fish at the end of the night, which consisted of 3 medium-sized rainbow trout ranging from 12 to 13 inches, a decent-sized 14-inch brown trout, and 2 small brookies no greater than 9 inches. We kept fishing until around 11:30 at night. If I were to guess, we'd been up pretty late, hoping to catch a large trout, but our hopes were never fulfilled. Nothing out of the ordinary had occurred while we were out on the lake, but that would soon change pretty shortly. Sorry, that dog's kind of loony. Maybe that's why her name's Luna. Luna Looney. Em and I spent the night outside in a tent while B, A, and A's friends slept inside a camper. We didn't mind this, however, as we preferred staying inside the tent, as it was a perfect place to talk about scary stories. And that's another thing right there. I'll hit that when I get there. Where we felt more vulnerable as our own protection was the dome of fabric that protected us from the darkness and whatever walks in the darkness. You know how thin tents are. There's really not that much between you and whatever's out there. Though I can't remember what was going on, I was reminded and I fell asleep reading a book. You notice a lot of people that go out and have these encounters that they're talking about these creatures. You know, And like what 90% of the stories that you filled, they'll say we was sitting around the campfire telling scary stories, or we was there's always an aspect of somebody was talking about it.
Mhm.
You think that has anything to do with? I've
I think
wondered that sometimes.
I think it has a lot to do with it. They're narcissistic beings. They like to be talked about and have people talking about them, and they want to hear what people are saying about them, and
Mhm.
so therefore that's yeah. I think it has a lot to do with it.
Either that, or you're talking about one thing, and then something out there listens to you tell your little story, and then decides to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna act like what they said," and then you have an encounter, and it's something. It could be end up being something that you think it is, but it's actually not. It's uh, just
So you think maybe talking about something could cause a demon to manifest into what you're talking about being
oh
afraid
yeah,
of, and that's what he's portraying that you're seeing? You're sitting
oh
out there
yeah.
saying,
If,
you
if,
know,
if you're showing, if not the one telling the story, but the ones that are listening to you tell the story, you know, a lot of them, it's the fear factor. They get startled because if you're saying it's hiding behind a tree, something they're going to be looking at a tree, and their heart's going to be racing a little bit. Well, um, the the fear factor in a human being uh, raises your blood pressure, raises your electromagnetic field even reacts to it. So um, it's gonna attract these things that feed off of that.
hmm,
Usually, it'll attract um, things like you have um, you'll have EVPs start up all of a sudden. You'll have something moving in the bushes. You'll have uh, something making uh, certain sounds like moaning sounds, and you'll start hearing the howls, and a lot of it is the human aspect. Everything gets amplified. Like when you're scared, your hearing actually improves to a point to where you start hearing more things around you. So because your body wants to stay alert, your body gets into protective mode, so it becomes more alert of your surroundings. So then what was already there gets amplified.
so it's kind of like when the person's telling the story, they're pretty much inciting fear into everybody, which is giving energy to whatever's there at the time.
Yeah, yeah, that can happen.
That's pretty, because a lot of people say, we was talking about it, or you know and I was reading what Amanda said. Amanda, I saw your comment. Amanda said, go with good intentions and it won't bother you. I used to believe that, and I think that there may be a little truth to that, but I don't think necessarily completely, because a lot of the times, I was told by my family, which are natives, if you hear it, it's better to ignore it. Don't acknowledge it. Don't interact with it. Don't show you're interested in it. Just do your thing. Now, they never said it ain't going to bother you, but they said if you do your thing and you don't pay attention to it, it might mess around for a while. It might throw some sticks at you, it might throw some rocks, but most of the time, if it's a Sasquatch, it's going to move on. It's not going to hurt you. Now, there is, always, the one that's rogue. There's the one that, that's just coming through there, having a bad day, and I'm going to find me a fisherman out there by himself, and I'm going to scare him to death, or, you know, I'm going to chum the lake with him, depending on where you're at.
You
you
really
know,
you really want to go fishing now, Mike?
yeah. But hey, honestly though, some of my very best encounters, if I would have been filming while I was fishing, would be while I was fishing.
Yeah.
Whenever you're sitting, with all the lights on you and you have that one little area, because I like to night fish, and then you have the backdrop of the woods and everything, right? You can't see back there because you got light, and then you got the smell of your bait, and they know you're catching food. So, plus, you got kids with you got your family with you. They're interested in the kids. It can get pretty scary.
No, if I come up there or come to see you, I ain't bringing no kids with me. It'll be a weekend without no kids. Sorry, kids.
Macho Man's out of the trip.
Yep. Sorry.
Hey, Larry Fisher, good to see you, buddy. Glad
Hey,
you're able to
Larry.
make it in. He says, I woke up to a piercing howl, much similar to the cry of a wolf. It sounded far away, but not too far, as if it comes from the other side of the lake. I was excited about it, simply just hearing a howl, because gray wolves weren't common, and they're not a common sight up in the mountains here. It was probably too dark for me to see if there was a wolf somewhere around the lake, so I just savored the moment knowing that there was a wolf in proximity, and I laid there and I listened to him, and I even howled back to him a few times before I drifted off to sleep.
Why would you do that?
Why? Right.
A lot of sightings and a lot of encounters I think people bring on themselves, right? I mean,
You're just
if I
recognizing it, that's all.
I'm kind of weird. Like when I go camping, I don't know why, but when nighttime hits, I get quieter. I'm listening. And if I stand up and I drop something and it's like loud, that just really bothers me when I hear that, that loud noise go out across the lake and you're like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
And there may not even be nothing even happening, but it's just knowing that everything around you just heard you make that noise that they don't hear every day,
Yep.
Mhm.
It's kind of like ringing that dinner bell. They're like, there's a fisherman out there that doesn't have very good eyesight. He'll be easy.
Great.
He says, I can't explain it, but I woke up probably 15 minutes later with a very uneasy feeling. Maybe it was because of those spooky stories that Em had been telling. I spent the entirety of the next half hour feeling discomforted. Em was still fast asleep. Everybody else was sleeping. But I felt a heaviness on me as if something was watching my tent. He says, as I was once ready to fall asleep again, I heard rustling in the vegetation from behind our tent. My everlasting discomfort levels continued rising in increasing pace. Perhaps it was a raccoon, a mule deer, or maybe even a black bear. I had seen fresh bear scat earlier in the afternoon, and I wouldn't have been surprised if it was a bear, and if the bear decided it could maybe get an easy meal. Black bears have quite the reputation for scouring about campgrounds looking for leftovers that humans leave behind. I had left a bag of Cheetos on the portable folding table that my aunt brought along, and I figured it would have been an attractant to hungry, junk-eating animals. My cousin had left the flashlight we used when he went out night fishing in the tent, so I grabbed it and I decided to investigate. Don't get me wrong, I was still very nervous. My instincts were trying to restrain me from leaving the tent. It was as if my brain was screaming, don't go, and my curiosity had got the better of me. So, you got a dude in a tent. Here's something howling. He howls back at it. They have left food out on the table. I mean, I don't even think
Setting
you have to.
yourself up for
I don't even think you have to break that down. I mean,
Might as well leave a pillow for him.
here's a nap. Here's a napkin to wipe your mouth with after you eat me. I mean, I don't know. That sounds to me like they were unknowingly probably inviting trouble. And especially when you go howling back at it,
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, if you look at it like this, if you were down on the lake and y'all were fishing with Connor, and Connor was, down a little ways from you guys, and you hollered at him, you're like, hey, Connor, are you catching anything? And then before he can holler back at you, you got these idiots in the woods are going, no, 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 trying to mock you, and you can't hear Connor. And you're like, every time you yell, they're yelling back at you. So your communication's disrupted. It's going to get aggravated. I mean, that would aggravate me.
Yeah.
That's why we're not bringing them with.
Yeah, look, if we brought him with us and he was down a ways on the lake and I call out, hey, Connor, catch anything? And all of a sudden you hear, no.
Yeah.
Hey, Connor, was that you?
Connor, you look a little taller tonight.
Connor, you need to take a bath.
I was just standing there, and all of a sudden, Connor just stood up and walked out into the lake till he disappeared. So he says, I shined the flashlight towards the direction of the disturbance, but I couldn't see anything. I didn't move very far from the tent at all. I stayed in place while slowly shining the flashlight in the circumference, hoping I would catch a glimpse of the culprit. Whether it was a raccoon or a bear, but I saw absolutely nothing. I figured it was simply just a deer that had passed through. I went through the bush. After a quick recheck, I crawled back into the tent, being as stealthy as possible when climbing back into the sleeping bag, zipping it back up. And by this point, my uneasiness had calmed down quite a bit, and I felt as if I could manage to sleep for the rest of the night. So once more, I fell back asleep. I don't know how you could think that it was a deer when you just heard it howling and you were howling back at it. I mean,
But didn't he say that the howl was way off? In the
it was.
So,
Yeah, it was across the lake.
Okay.
So he I guess he could have thought that.
Maybe he just thought, oh, it's just a deer. There's no way the wolf can come or whatever can come so fast. I know, Jess. Don't look at me like that. I'm just saying, in this gentleman's mind, thinking that. I don't know, but I think, yeah. No, don't howl at anything. Just like I don't like it when he whistles.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you got to whistle at night while you fish.
Oh.
He said, I'd figured I'd sleep for perhaps a while. But about another hour later, he said, all I know is that it was still pitch black outside. And when I was woken up by what sounded like the cooler crashing onto its side, spilling ice and soda cans, which slowly rolled onto the hardened soil, immediately I felt my heart racing and my adrenaline levels building up once more, stronger and more potent than they were before. I was too afraid to get up and check outside and see what was causing the ruckus at this time. But eventually I found enough courage to grab the flashlight, which I kept with me inside my sleeping bag. As I slowly slipped out of the sleeping bag with the flashlight in my grasp, I heard the crumbling of aluminum, as if it was now digging into the bag of Cheetos. It sounded almost like somebody had sat down to drink soda and eat the Cheetos. I unzipped the cover of the tent. I had kept my flashlight off in order to keep my location hidden. But as if that mattered, because whatever it was had already seen me, and it was staring at me with bright amber-colored eyes that gazed almost completely into my soul. Yeah, at that point, yeah, that's nacho cheese right there. That's the werewolves.
Yeah. Don't be expecting to go outside the tent and you see something laying on the table going, hey, you got anything there?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think at that point, I would have a weapon and making sure that, I mean, when stuff happens around your tent, yeah, I get a little excited. But when it comes into that perimeter, you're fair game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not telling people to go do that. I could be wrong. That's just what I do.
For entertainment purposes.
Yeah. There was something. Oh gosh, you got me thinking now. That's all I need is to get caught with a bunch of lights strapped to me and a night vision scope on an AK at night.
Lord,
Well, you got all the lights on you if you got a night vision scope. Well, it says it works off of starlight. I was just trying to help it out.
Hey, I have a buddy that actually straps all kind of LED lights to him, front, back, everywhere. Puts the lights, and he goes out in the woods.
Wow.
Yeah, and he actually gets some response to the Bigfoot clan that he studies.
I think the trick is not having too bright of a light. It seems like when I first started going out, I was getting more encounters whenever I had the crappy lights that everybody was talking about. There's like, Mike, your lights suck. I can't see shit. And I was like, well, I can see, because the camera is not picking up the light as well as what I can see, right? So I can see good, but everybody else is like, I can't see nothing. I ain't watching this. I can't see, and you're like, so you step up, you get the brighter light where everybody can see. And then they're like, how come it ain't getting as close as it used to? What? That sucks. It's like, well, I mean,
your own damn. No.
yeah, it's just like, if I use bright lights, of course you're going to push it back. I mean, they do almost. And I have a belief that these things are very intelligent. I believe that they're beyond probably our intelligence. I believe they came from the first, but they do almost what other animals in the woods do. When you light up an area, what happens? The coons move back, the possums move back, the deer move back. Everything moves back because, I mean, they're out at night for a reason. They don't like to be in the light where they can be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So
across the road and then it's deer in the headlight. Look.
Unless it's a possum, then they turn and run right at you. I try to dodge them, but they kind of remind me of the movie Death Wish. We got cars out, or possums out here playing chicken with cars every night on our roads. But yeah, I mean, all the animals move back. Mm-hmm. So I've noticed when I go out now, this is what I did. The stick right here that holds my phone when I go out. Mm-hmm. I've got a small light that I've put on. I don't know if y'all can see it right there. That's the light that I'm using. It's just a small headlamp is all it is. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed whenever I switch over to just that light, that's when we start getting the stuff up close. We get the limbs moving and the whistling and, the EVPs. But then whenever I kick on this light that's on top of my head, this huge light, as you can see, it's got a huge battery pack. Mm-hmm. Everything moves back because that light lights up the perimeter. It's a large perimeter light. And then, I used a flashlight that Pam got me, which is an awesome flashlight. It's super bright. So now you're putting 3 super bright lights out there. It's going to push back. I mean, that's,
I think it would be to them, that bright headlamp would be an equivalent to us driving down the road and having to stare into the sun while we're driving.
Right. Yeah. And that may be why we're only getting, in a lot of our photographs, that why we're only getting the one eye shine, is because whenever that light is so bright, they're either, when I squint, I'll shut one eye sometimes, squint it shut and look with the other eye because it's bright. I do that with the sun a lot. I squint a lot. So if they're squinting, That could be why we're getting the one eye shine, and then every now and then you'll get the two, and then back to the one because they're trying to keep the light out of their eye.
Yeah, and you'll notice too when they're staring right at your light, they all do it. They'll look away for just a second, and then because they have to refocus because that brightness blinds them to the point to where they have to refocus their eyes.
Right.
It's just like us. If we're staring into a light, first thing that happens when we look away from that light, we're going to see blue dots.
Yes. Or a black spot. I see black spots sometimes, like a black spot, and I can't see.
Yeah.
I think that if, what I would like to do, I would like to be able to go out and have a bright enough red light that fit on my head mounted light that was red, a bright red light, and just use it all night to hit that lower spectrum to see if you could maybe get closer to them. That could be pretty dangerous. I mean, it could change the whole game.
Yeah. I have a buddy that does paranormal work. He uses the red light all the time, and he gets really good shots of certain things moving in the woods, and it tends to not make them like you were saying. They tend to not back up so much because that light doesn't hurt their vision, so they're staying as close as they can, because they're not going to come out from behind a tree line out in the open. So if you're staying right along a tree line where there's a whole bunch of big trees they can hide behind, and you use that red light, you're going to get plenty of action because they're going to keep peeking around. Because they're not getting blinded.
I think that's something that we need to try. Maybe even, can you imagine if we was to go out, say, fishing on the lake, do like an investigation fishing night, and go out instead of running white lights, try to run red lights over your camping area. There's no telling what would come up.
Right.
We don't have enough red light.
And we could let Christy go out there at the red light and look around every now and then, do a perimeter check.
Yeah, not happening.
with her bacon sandwich.
You're mean. Yes, he's being mean.
Don't worry. We'll put a what are they called? One of those beacons on you. So if it takes you, we can track you real time. That way, we would know where to find you.
You're a word.
Be like, man, she just hit 53 miles an hour through that field.
Not happening.
I watched a movie the other night. I don't know if y'all's watched it on Tubi called Exists. That's really good.
Is it a horror movie?
No, it's about Bigfoot, Sasquatch.
It's considered the best movie about Sasquatch out
You've
there.
probably watched it.
It was good. I really liked it. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I'll watch that one over and over again.
Somebody told me to watch one called Something in the Woods.
Yeah, that one's probably the second best one.
They say it's really good too.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, if it was us watching it and we've experienced a lot of the stuff that's in the movie, and then there's the fabricated parts, the embellishment, and because it's a movie, so
right.
The Bigfoot's the bad guy, so they're gonna come in being all badass and ripping things up, and but
Bigfoot's the badass.
But Exists, that one is pretty close to a lot of stuff that I've experienced myself.
I'm gonna have to watch it now. You got me. That's movie night tonight.
Movie night for us was last night.
It's based on a true story. What is
Mhm.
exists?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Where
There's a-
you been?
There's a few parts in it that will remind you
Yes.
of a certain beef stick commercial, but
I couldn't help it. I seen you play it in chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Get him, Jess. Get him.
I have to throw her under the bus here in a minute when she's not paying attention. I'll ask her a question.
Sorry, we're talking about concealed carry and where you're supposed to carry it and where you're not supposed to carry it. And who's going to stop you if they don't know that you're carrying it and it's concealed? What does it matter? Especially if you're in the woods up against the bear.
Actually, it matters a whole lot. Depends on if you're in a state or federal woods, because federal charges are a lot worse than state charges.
Well, yeah, but shush your face.
Or what
in
I
federal,
follow all concealed carry laws. Let that be known.
in federal, there is no good behavior. You serve exactly what they tell you to serve. That's the bad thing about federal.
Well, things are. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Nope, I'm not. Nothing I say.
just
Everything will be used against me. So
if you're wanting to have a firearm on your side going into any of the national parks around the country, call the headquarters, call the national park headquarters, and they will tell you.
And follow your local and state laws.
yes, at all times.
Yep.
So he says there was something very off with these eyes. They were about 6.5 to 7 feet off the ground. I found myself trembling with fear and my heart beating to the point I felt I was going to pass out. Slowly, I pointed my flashlight toward the thing and pushed the switch with my thumb. And I've wondered about that too. What would happen to somebody if you did pass out? I mean, that could be really bad. He said, what I saw will haunt me for the rest of my days. It was a huge wolf that was completely covered in ruffled, jet black hair. Not only that, but it was standing on 2 legs.
I knew it.
And had very human-like hands with fingers that ended with sharp, black. This is what I find interesting. He doesn't say claws.
Right.
He says talons.
Talons.
And that tells me he saw something that was curved, like curved claws.
Yeah.
And he says it had the talon claws. He said, I'll admit, I was frozen in shock because the next thing that I seen blew my mind as being a country boy. The best way I know how to explain it is this thing was wearing a collar like we put on our bird dogs with an antenna.
Wow.
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's wearing a collar with a GPS.
Yeah. So some expert out there is tracking whatever it is.
It makes you wonder who raised this thing as a puppy or whatever it would be to be able to put it on it and then to release it. Or, I don't know, does it not bite the hand that feeds it?
Not if they've tranked it out before they release it, right?
That's pretty scary.
And you went from
I still wonder if they release these things into the forests and out and track them just to see what they will do. And, casualties are casualties, and they'll just blame it on a wild whatever.
My thing is, why do these things show such high intelligence, but yet they don't know to take that long claw and cut that collar off?
Maybe they can't.
Maybe if they try to, they get shot.
I mean, heck, I've seen the movies where you try and release the thing and it blows up the thing in the brain and kills them. So, I've seen those movies.
Maybe they've taught them that whenever they mess with it, something bad happens as young, Like,
That's how they train elephants.
he
They
tried to
train
take it off. Hurry, run in there and beat him.
That's how they train elephants from an early age. They put those big, huge, heavy shackles and chains on them at an early age. So by the time they're an adult, they realize that they can't. That's why most of them have the chains on their legs, but they're not attached to anything.
Right.
Because they've got it in their heads that they can't escape, or they're good beaten.
Jay Richardson said that's old news. He knew that 15 years ago. So, I mean, he sounds like he's up to date on everything. I mean, I've heard it too. I don't think I'd heard it that long ago, though.
What's old news?
I guess that they were callers.
That I'm curious on how close or how far away the person is from Area 51.
Where was it? I said he was in the Smoky Mountains.
Wyoming?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's in
that's
Wyoming.
right. It was Wyoming, yeah.
There's many other secret areas too.
I think I remember hearing a story out of Wyoming too that
I mean, think about it.
they actually.
Area?
Now that I think about it, I need to look back. I remember the show that I heard it on. But there was, yeah, that's a whole other thing. It was a story about a woman that actually had taken over the place after her husband had passed away, and the military was trying to get at it. But these things, it was she was the only thing that her property that she owned was the only thing that was stopping the military from working their special ops in the area. So they were trying to run her off with these things.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe it was in Wyoming. I'll have to go back and find it.
I know that the government's buying a whole lot of land right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're interested in. He said the bipedal canine-like creature twitched and pointed its ears in opposite directions and slightly gaped its horrendous mouth open to reveal butter-colored canine teeth layered with streaks of brown plaque. It had purplish gums with black outlines above the teeth. I could smell its breath, too. It was terrible, pungent stench, a stench of rotten meat that made my eyes water and my stomach nauseous. It was a foul odor that put the stench of sulfur and methane to shame. It was the smell of death. What it did next made my heart sink almost to the ground. An action that would leave me deep scarred in memory, that would plague my nightmares for an eternity and cause me to still have to seek counseling and to take medications to be able to deal with what I saw that night. It turned its head and it smiled. A wide, toothy smile that spanned across the muzzle if it knew I was terrified and enjoyed seeing me in fear. That happened to, the friend of my mom's family I told you all about. It smiled at him and ruined his life. He would hunt no more. He wouldn't fish no more. He moved to the city. He wouldn't even talk about it for 50 years.
Well, I know what he's talking about when he's talking about the horrible stench coming out of the mouth. Having one breathe on you, being so close that it breathes on you, you see the steam coming from its mouth.
Ew.
And then the slobber dripping, and then just the hot air that it's exhaling. Ugh.
I'm glad I haven't ate yet.
You could probably pull a piece of meat out of his teeth and get a snack. But yeah, I mean, some people see these things and it affects them for life,
That's what's wrong with you.
He said, then before I knew it, it swirled around and took off in all fours. It dropped to all fours, ran back into the forest, dropping the bag of Cheetos on the ground as if it weren't searching for food, but rather merely seeking to terrify someone. It knew we were there, but we didn't know it was there. It stood there like a statue, completely petrified from what I'd just experienced. Until I heard a voice coming from the tent. Zach, what are you doing? Why are you awake? Em asked. I looked at the woods to where it ran, And there in the tree, it had climbed the tree and was peeking its head around the tree, watching me from the wood line. And this is when it done something that caused me to actually vomit. It stuck its long arm around the tree, stuck his hand into my flashlight beam, and made the motion with his finger, "Come here."
I thought you were going to say it flipped him off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably worse.
Yeah, that's when you're like, guys, get in the truck.
People need to be waking up at that time.
Mhm.
And he said, somebody had yelled at me, "Zach, what are you doing?" And he said, they was asking him, "Why are you awake?" And he said, I told him, and I stuttered. I was too afraid to reveal anything of what I had just experienced. They would probably think I was half asleep, he said, or something, or that I was crazy. I yelled at him, "Go back to sleep." I muttered, "It's nothing." Yes, I know that was a mistake. I set everybody up to be possible victims because I'm telling everybody to go back to sleep when I know there is a predator stalking us. I didn't want him to know that I had just seen it. I felt like if I didn't wake everybody up and alert them, that it would move on, knowing that I meant no harm and that we wasn't going to bother it. But I felt like if I woke everybody up, caused a commotion, it may cause him to attack and possible others that may have been with him.
True.
He said, I tried to calm myself down, but my heart was still racing. I couldn't shake off the image of the creature's smile. I kept thinking about it. And then it done something that, to this day, makes me want to have a heart attack and crawl under a rock and die. It walked from the wood line in a straight path directly at me on all fours.
Wow.
It walks up to me, approximately 6 feet from me. It's on all fours. Its head would look me right straight into the chest. It takes its long curled fingernail, sticks it into my vomit, and then licks it off its finger while staring at me. It then turns and runs back to the woods as it howls. That is whenever I screamed and woke everybody up. As they were shining their flashlights everywhere into the woods, as I was laying there now on my side, in shock, all we could see was amber and blue eyes reflecting up in the trees.
Trees.
They slowly, as we were shining our lights at them, turned their heads and slithered deeper into the woods without ever touching the ground, going from tree to tree like you would watch monkeys in the zoo. They were graceful, quiet, and acrobatic.
Mm-hmm.
We loaded our truck as fast as we could, cramming everything into the back, not even breaking the tents down correctly. We probably lost a lot of gear, and we left. When we got home, which we live in the country, this is the weird part too. They live, he said, approximately 13 miles from where they was camping. Whenever they got home, they found their 2 rat terriers in the backyard, he said, slaughtered beyond recognition. Now, he said, I don't know that they came and done that, but it was part of what had happened. 2 nights at their house, they heard howling and scratching outside their house, the rattling of the doorknobs, stuff like that. And then on the 3rd night, he got up, was walking through the front room, looked into the kitchen, and in the nightlight, he saw the dog man / werewolf standing in the kitchen, the silhouette of it, its head to the 8-foot ceiling. He said it had its head bent sideways, looking at him. Turned on the kitchen light. It was gone. But then whenever he walks in there and thinks he's having an episode, he said, like he's hallucinating because they'd just been terrified, out of all this stuff that's happened, losing the dogs and everything. His girlfriend walks in there and there's muddy bipedal dog prints, walks all the way to the back door, and the door's opened. Since then, they haven't had anything happen in about 2 months. And he said he'll keep us up to date.
They opened the fridge and saw they didn't have any bacon, so they're like,
Yeah, time to go.
It was only turkey bacon.
So they evidently wasn't there, I guess, to hurt them because it had plenty of opportunity. It came to their house. It was in their house and didn't hurt them.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
are they enjoying the fear factor of scaring people? Is that part of it?
yeah. Also, I think it was just they were letting them know that something exists. Maybe that whole clan of whatever it is was trying to establish territory, and them being there was an opportunity for them to show themselves, knowing that if one person hears or sees something, then everybody's going to know. So there's going to be less people show up. I mean, these things are smart. They know that we, as a species, we tend to congregate with others, and we gossip because that those things would probably, they more than likely do the same thing. You're going to tell your entire clan, and then that somebody from your clan is going to go and tell another clan, and another. So they're establishing, to me, that's what it sounds like they're doing. They're establishing a perimeter, and something came into that perimeter, and they're like, okay, we need to scare them out.
I listened to something today. Now, I have not looked into this very far, but I thought it was very, very, very interesting. People are talking about Planet X, Nibiru or whatever they call it also. And a lot of people are saying that it's biblical, that they believe the closer that this planet moves to us, the more the cryptids are going to be able to engage with humans. That happened back a long time ago with the Anubis, and when that planet was here, now it's coming back, and we're going to start seeing an uptick in supernatural cryptid encounters on humans. They say it is biblical, end of times kind of stuff, and it almost goes back to where people say these things are waiting for a certain time in our history to do a certain job.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to be where the third of humanity is killed?
Could be. I mean, obviously blood will be running in the streets, and what happens when millions of people get slaughtered?
Right.
Cats and dogs living together. Total chaos.
I mean, that's going to be, something eating you alive. Kind of like that movie I watched. What is it? The Darkness and the Ghost, or whatever, or the Ghost in the Darkness. Where they hunt the two lions that are man eaters.
Oh, did you watch that? That was a good movie, huh?
And you'll witness your neighbor something happening to them, and you can't intervene, because if you do, same thing will happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you wonder, when do investigators, the actual boots on the ground investigators, when do they start getting physically attacked and start going missing? Because that line is no longer
safe.
as strong, as it is right now.
Well, in some areas, that's already happening. We've had a lot of investigators disappear, and no explanation why.
I know if one investigator I know ever got caught, we wouldn't have to worry about nothing. They'd be full for a while.
I don't know who you're talking about.
They'd be feasting from full moon to full moon. But then they'd all be too obese to chase us down. They'd be like, I ain't hunting him, dude. I'm stuffed.
Dealing with
But I mean,
indigestion for the next year.
that tastes like shit. But I mean, it's just, I've been out there, and I'm sure Harold has, where it gets scary, and then you go out there to where it gets where you feel like you may get hurt or maybe not leave. I've had that feeling that, like, if I don't leave, this could get really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
feeling
I leave,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to hang around, and that's what I tell everybody when I go out. We'll stay as long as we can, as long as I perceive it to be safe, as long as I feel like I can leave or have a defensive strategy. But when it gets to the point to where it's like, this is kind of getting, it's time to pull out. It's time to go.
Yeah, I like catching these things on camera if I can, but I don't want my end to be
Right.
podcasted.
You don't want to videotape your end.
No.
Sounds like somebody sitting there eating a bag of pork skins while your camera's facing the ground.
Wow.
Well, hey, at least, well, go out one way. Everybody would know.
And slurping up a.
Stop! I have not ate yet.
Hey, at least they can't say you faked that one.
Christy, in defense of your stomach, I normally do not have a weak stomach. I've seen just about everything you can see from what I used to do. But I seen something on TikTok the other day that made me sick. Have you seen the new trend at how mothers are clearing babies' noses?
Oh,
No, don't.
Don't.
Have you?
Don't.
I've
Don't. 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 Please don't.
That popped up on my feed. And I tell you right now, man, my mouth got dry.
Ew. Okay,
My
Mike, what's your face?
It was terrible. I think Harold probably knows what I'm talking about. That's
I'm
right,
sure
Belinda.
I've seen it. It's just
Belinda.
I don't just think about it right now. Just come back. Oh, but
Yeah.
I have a
Sorry, I'm not putting my mouth over my baby's nose.
I'm not neither.
Stop. Anyway.
And they swallow it. They don't even spit it out.
Stop.
And I was like, why would you film that? Why would you want somebody to see you do that?
That's what. Exactly, Amanda. There's too much on TikTok.
No, that's why they make turkey basters.
Yeah. Those are for the people that eat turkey bacon. That's who does that.
Just come back. I miss you. Oh. Okay.
But yeah, I was really kind of bothered me when I saw that. I was like, yeah.
You're done.
That's a motherly love right there. Well, guys, I know you're probably as tired as I am. That's really all I got for tonight. I am planning on going boots on the ground the 10th, and if I might say so myself, we've really been kicking some ass on those numbers. There ain't nobody doing what we're doing. And, of course, people's mad at me because of the numbers, but our numbers have been great. We got great people coming over. I've met a lot of people that's came over from other places and are now subscribing, and hopefully we're on the uptake. We got some pretty cool things planned. What sucks is all this rain is so flooded. I cannot get to the areas that I want to investigate because they're about 30 foot underwater.
Yeah, it's so humid and gross and nasty.
Our lake right now, I think they said yesterday before this rain, was over 7 foot over flood stage. Down where I would normally be right now videoing, that would probably be about 10, 15 foot of water deep. The lake is probably about 2 miles out of bank all around. So if it keeps doing this, I don't know where I'll go the 10th. I mean, I'll try to find somewhere, but it's getting hard to really find somewhere.
I know in Kingfisher where they have the Cimarron dammed up for their, I don't know if it's for the water source or whatever. With all this rain, though, it's made the Cimarron way more fuller, I guess is a word. A lot.
More full than normal.
There's a little water in the river. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, I can about imagine.
And the bad thing is that water is kind of at a standstill because there's all kinds of soot in it.
Yes.
Not the prettiest
And
water.
that water is just scary looking when it's flooded up into that, all that debris and stuff. You don't know what's lurking underneath all that.
Right. Like
that night that thing chased me down the road, it crawled off into that old nasty water and was beating on the pylon of that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gross.
If something was to crawl into something like that, I mean, that takes a lot of guts just to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice teddy bear, huh? Sorry.
I can't wait till you get to come down and meet it.
Yeah, sure. Come up and over and meet it.
You can ask it if it wants to give a hug.
Yeah, it'll want to be my friend.
Y'all know that place that I get the EVPs at?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
Maybe we could camp overnight there and then move down to the lake the next night.
Oh my goodness. Being in my van, locking the doors. Have fun.
You'll be like I was that night. It'll be shaking your van like it was shaking me that night. I hate. That's the worst part, Christy. I would rather be walking in the woods with a flashlight and it whistle or holler at me than sitting in my car and it's shaking it and I can't see it. Because I'm just waiting for that face to press up against the window.
And it goes,
yeah.
When we went to Talahina, and I actually did sleep in my van, that well, kind of slept, I guess.
Email me, Amanda.
I didn't sleep all that well. Just saying. It's like sleeping with one eye open.
Yeah.
I don't carry, so I'm sitting there freaking out just a little bit because I'm fair game then.
I slept like a baby.
Yeah, he was snoring.
Kind of like my grandma used to tell me, or my granny, she'd say, "You better be careful down there sleeping in them woods like that. You'll liable to wake up with your throat cut."
Mm-hmm.
Then we're like, you think? Then all of us kids are like, you think we should be camping down here?
Makes me just want to grab a tent and go.
And then freaking out because where we were parked,
oh my goodness,
we had the view of the woods. Everybody else was parked behind us, so
yeah, there would have been no way in hell we'd be able to get out.
Yeah, that's usually not a good scenario, not having an exit plan. See how far that van can make it through the trees.
We'll see how far I can back it up into the one car, then do a donut. Yeah.
Kind of like one of those places where everybody panics and everybody stomps each other to death. Everybody gets scared. That's one of my fears is, man, if you get down there, people you don't know, people are always saying, will you take me out? Will you take me out there? It's not just because you don't want to give your spot away. You don't know how they're going to react. I mean, they could pull their gun out and just start shooting everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of bad things can go on in a high stress situation like that because people freak out sometimes.
Just let you know, if we do come and visit you, Mike, we don't carry. So we ain't going to go home. can't go.
He knows. That's why you're bait.
Yeah, well, we carry other things, just not pew-pews.
Well, that's fine. You're still bait.
I got that. I got that covered. We'll be all right.
Shoot, sorry.
Yeah,
I like big sharp things that.
I got. Have you ever seen this? Let me see if I can reach it. This is what I carry whenever I go out on my other side. It's a. It's the SRK.
Nice.
I like it. It's a good one.
I don't think it's out. Hey, Figgy. I think it's.
Hey, Figgy. Yeah, you're a little late.
You are super late, girlfriend. But
Yep, we're just now ending it. We're getting ready to go to sleep, and me and Christy's going to grab something to eat.
After you talking like that, I don't think I'll eat tonight.
Go in there and have you a cup of pudding.
Shit. I just said some guacamole.
Actually, guacamole sounds good.
I love guacamole. Little sour cream mixed in it. Some chunks of lettuce.
Tomatoes.
Extra cheesy mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I might just settle with popcorn.
Yeah, but then I'd be hungry an hour later.
I'll be asleep an hour later.
Yeah.
Hey, how was your mac and cheese, Cammy? Good. No, you may not have my gummy bears.
Well, Harold, tell everybody what you're up to, what you're doing, and where to find you, man. And I'll let y'all get out of here. And
yeah, you guys can find me on OCST Oklahoma Cryptid Search Team on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. On TikTok, it's OK Cryptids Search Team. You can go on Facebook and join the Facebook group page. We run chat through there. We have our show coming up on Wednesday. We do every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central. It's OCST Bigfoot and stuff. Me and Christy.
Sometimes Connor.
Sometimes Connor.
Cammy,
Sometimes
once
we
you
have a
can.
guest. But yeah, check us out there. And
Turd.
I'm starting up a little, trying to see if I can do daily. Probably not. Probably maybe every other day. But I do this little skit now that I have Merle the Bigfoot. So y'all check that out. I have it on all the social medias. So
Merle the Bigfoot. He's cool.
well,
My turn? Oh my god.
yeah, that's what I was waiting on.
You can find CRJ Designs. You can find me on YouTube and Facebook. I don't have Merle the Bigfoot yet, but maybe I'll do a plaque for Merle the Bigfoot or something one day. I am going to start working on Casey Merritt's coasters shade one. I actually went and bought some more coasters this weekend, so I can start planning out a design for her, and I'm super excited. And yeah, other than that, not been doing much. So just hanging out with y'all. Still trying to get some ideas though, but hey.
I think that's neat stuff that you do. I think that's some cool stuff. I think that'll do really good.
I actually saw something else that I wanted to buy at the dollar store. Believe it or not, the dollar store of all places, but that I really, really, really wanted to buy. So maybe I'll go back a couple days or a couple weeks or whatever and see if I can still find some. But they're bigger round plaques or wood planks that actually have wood around them to do like a plaque.
That'd be cool.
Not just coasters, but a whole plaque. So just a couple ideas floating out there. And so, yeah.
That would be really neat.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere else. Tammy, it closes in 5 minutes.
Well, guys, I appreciate y'all coming on. I do. And it's always fun. And we'll do it again, too. But I'm going to let you all run. And I think we're going to jump off here. And I'm going to go see what's for dinner. I'm hungry.
Me too.
Yeah, it was good to be on again. It's always fun. It's always a pleasure to be on here with y'all and doing these breakdowns.
We will do it again soon.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll let y'all run. And I think we're going to get out of here, too. Thank you again, guys, for showing up. We appreciate y'all being on here.
All right.
See you guys. Have a good
Good
night.
All right.
Night,
Night,
guys.
Mike. Night,
Good
everybody.
Good night. Good night. All right, Jess, your turn.
Well, just thanks everybody for being here. Hope you all enjoyed, and I am planning on going out tomorrow night, so check out my channel. Hopefully, if all goes well and the weather lets up a little bit because it's been raining all day. So, but thank you everybody for being here tonight. Appreciate each and every one of you. God bless, and we will see you next time.
All right, everybody. As always, I appreciate y'all being here. The support's amazing. The boots on the ground support's amazing. We're hitting numbers like never before. I'm not even seeing anybody doing that right now. We are absolutely tearing it up on the boots on the ground. It's what we used to do. It's what we're known for doing, and we're going to continue doing it. Hopefully, the 10th, it'll be our second boots on the ground this week, and we're going to try to get more boots on the ground coming up. Try to maybe do 2 a week or see what we can do. And start pushing those numbers up there, guys. Maybe we'll do like Fridays and Sundays. I don't know. I'm still looking at some days, but it's kind of fun maybe to do Fridays and Sundays. That's kind of fun. I enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll pick a couple of days, and we'll go out and have some fun and spank a little butt. But until next time, guys, be safe. Enjoy your families. God bless. Watch the storms. Definitely be weather alert. Don't drive into flooded areas. Watch the weather.
Turn around.
Yeah, Mom said turn around, don't drown.
Mm.
Be safe. And guys, we will see you the 10th coming up. Hopefully we can find us a place to go boots on the ground, and that's the plan. If not, I'm sure we will have something lined out for you guys. So again, thank you very much. Love you guys. And Hunter, I love you more than anything in the world, buddy. Can't wait to see you. And just excited. I'm excited about the plans and the expeditions that we're going to go, buddy. You're going to be amazed at what we're going to do. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to go eat. Good night.